One of my favorite places to work out and run is on all-weather track. So I'm lucky enough to be here up here in upstate Western New York and have multiple facilities that I could literally ride my bike to. And today I rode my bike to this one right here. This one's brand spanking new. What I've noticed is that from running on the pavement and cement, and it just makes sense to me. And you can feel the difference. I literally, before I started getting on the track, I was running on pavement and cement. And then as soon as I got on the track, I would say at least half the amount of soreness that I am in my knees and my back and things of that nature. And this is a brand new one, so we got a lot of cushion on this. There's an older one that's just down the way a little bit that I like to go to as well to switch it up. And it's a little bit older. It's been beat up. And I actually used to run track on there back in the day when it was brand spanking new when I was in high school. And so what I've noticed is that on the outsides of the fields, so the turf field, as you can see, I'm actually here at the long jump pit, the section right behind the field posts. And there's another section. And I like to do just a little bit of agility work right here. And then if there's nobody on the field, I take advantage of that. And so on that beat up field, I've noticed that there's a lot more cushion on the out of bounds part where of course, there's less people running on it. And so what I do is I do my sprints on those straightaways in the out of bounds part where basically, where the teams would be sitting and the coaches in that nature. And then I walk the corners, depending on the workout. So I'm a big believer in what I'm looking for is muscle tone. I'm not looking to lose muscle, which usually once you start getting into those 20-minute runs and things of that nature, then those are going to start actually taking muscle away. So if you look at your sprinters compared to your 2-milers and tracking that, you can see that noticeably the different muscle tone. And so I'm looking at high intensity and a little bit longer breaks in between. So and when I'm running short on a time, I just cut the corners. And so today I want to show you, I'm going to do, and I've talked about this before because since I started teaching already, I'm going to have my students perform a lot of these fundamental skills. And these skills and movements I see neglected. And that's why I got into PE teaching and why I love teaching the younger grades, because these are so crucial and I have adults that can't do it. And if this simple movement you have a hard time and you struggle with, as goofy as it seems, this is what they call a locomotor movement. So as a PE teacher, our jobs are to teach these young 6-year-olds, right? Kindergartners, if we got pre-K like me, 3-year-olds, how to move properly, how to do basic steps. In soccer, if I can't trap and I can't dribble a soccer ball, or in basketball, if I can't catch and dribble your basics, I'm not going to be able to progress, right? And again, it also goes into the chances of injury. I'm more prone to injuring if I don't have the fundamentals down. You got to have the base in order to get to the top. And most people skip that part. Usually in the gym, it's guys skip their legs and their core, and the girls skip the upper body stuff. So this exercise is, I've seen it from Dr. Gary Gray, and I recommend that you check him out because the man is a genius and he knows human movement. And I want you to look at this. This is going to blow away sitting on the treadmill. And when it comes to strengthening your pelvic floor, which gets extremely weak, right? The pelvic floor is a spot between our anus and our genitals, right? That spot gets extremely weak from sitting on it. And if we don't strengthen it, if we don't move it around, and that's what its job is, it actually gets strengthened, not just from Kegels muscles, which you all know that Kegels muscles would be like the muscles that stop when you are urinating and you got to hold it, which are good exercises to do. But actually what the research has shown is that movement in 3 planes, which means not just running straight ahead, which probably 80% of the population is doing, right? When they go for a run, they're not, unless they're athletes, they're just running straight ahead. 3 planes means side to side, front to back, and rotation. In fact, rotation hits all the other planes and gets them all involved in there. And then anytime I can do some coordination skills in there, now I'm really turning on those muscles. And so a simple move, and this is great, I do this with my younger students is galloping. And galloping is just a step and a slide, right, or a drag. And then if I throw an arm driver in there, which would be just kind of swims or back swims and things like that, so simply it would be this, right? So I'm just galloping, slide, step, slide, step, slide. And then I want to get the other leg. And then I want to go backwards. And the other leg. And of course, when I first started doing this, I looked like a complete idiot. And if anybody out here would look at me, they'd be like, what are you doing? You know? But when it comes to training the pelvic floor and getting those fundamental movements, who cares what you're looking at? If you looked at a dingbat sitting on the treadmill and the elliptical, you should be like, what are you doing? You don't move anything close to what the human body is doing. But we're so conditioned in that, and that's what we see day in and day out. And my younger students, I try to put that in their head. That's not natural. This right here, when people will see this, they would think I'm the goofy one, when it should be vice versa, right? You're sitting on that treadmill, that elliptical, that row machine, that bike in there, that stationary bike, and you're just sitting there, and and now there's always something now, and I've used it myself for rehab, and it's better than nothing. But again, it's a waste of time. This is going to blow away anything and everything. And if you're 90 years old, this is what you want to be doing, and going backwards. If you can't walk backwards, you're tripping over your feet. Get off the treadmill, right? And that's what I started seeing this in my adults. I'd pull them on the track when I started training at a gym that had a track, and I'd pull these people off that have gone day in and day out, 4 hours, so 3 to 4 times a week, and all that. You know these people. They just sit on the elliptical for an hour and they just burnt, right, because they want to work out. And then when you pull them off of that, and then I ask them to, I want you to walk backwards in a zigzag pattern and watch them fall all over themselves. And it doesn't dawn on them, and nobody, especially guys are so hard. You know how guys are in the gym. I always say if a guy can bench, he'll bench press 5 times a week, but if he can't balance on his right leg, forget that, right? You find the weaknesses, guys, and you build it. You do the foundational stuff, and then when you get up to my age and past, you're killing it. You're making the young generation look silly. Absolutely silly, because, again, there's so much misinformation out there. The heaviest population of people that take care of themselves are the ones found in the gym, right? And then just that small percentage that go out and run and stuff like that. But again, take those runners that are out running around the beach and stuff and straight ahead, and have them backpedal and have them do something like that, or take them off the elliptical. All they know is robotic type training. And think about it. They're the most active, the strongest, healthiest people that we have in this nation. Time for a change, guys. So look out for my videos. Once those consent forms come in from parents, have my little guys teach the things that we all should be learning. And with that being said,